settings on trading
All
view
right.
are gone.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning, Potter.
What a doozy.
Morning.
All right.
Buenos días.
Buenos dias.
What do you
Sorry.
mean? Good morning.
Huh? Sorry, I'm multitasking right now, as per usual.
God, dude.
All right, there we go. All right. Goodest morning. Um, no movement overnight, really. I woke up this morning. I was like, come on, man. All right, so we're gonna go over the ETFs, go over our data, and then we'll take your guys' requests as per usual. So this morning at 10 a.m., we have CB Consumer Confidence. We'll see how confident we really are. That's not what that's for, but secondly, right, we've got the Qs, SPY, all opening up in range. Now, I'd like to see this candle turn green today. It's not an incredible setup. We are going to be watching today for 519, 520. Ultimately, right, we have a lot of empty space, but I'm going to reuse my previous resistances since we didn't even dump through it. We actually have a gap on the chart, which is rare. Actually, we don't always have gaps open like this. So with a big gap like that, we're going to take it, piece by piece. But above that 520, I'm pretty convinced that we'll see a move up into that 528 area. So today or this morning, we're really left with no choice other than, and I hope everybody remembers this, over pre-market highs. If you're going to take it, is where you probably need to take it, right? And that's going to be my entry. So 517, 518 push. We have structure underneath us. We're bouncing off of it. So I don't even know why I have this box here. The box will be right here. And that's where we're sitting above this morning. So any downside would happen underneath 513.93. And of course, that'd be 3 rejections up on the top. But if I have it my way, since we didn't get as much sideways action as I would have liked to see, well, we did actually, if you want to look at the dump, look at the rip, and then look at the sideways, I'd like to see some building done today. Which means we're probably not going to participate, but again, my only other alternative rather, is to take it above pre-market highs. All right.
Speculating though? You're just speculating. You're not actually taking.
No, I'm going to take it. If it breaks pre-market highs, yeah. See where I get out of it. 520, I would assume again. All right. Goodbye, old people. I love you. Bye, baby girl. All right, buddy. Have a great day at school. You guys be good. Have fun. Listen to your teachers. See ya. All right. So with that being said, if we are in between these two ranges, yeah, I'm not touching it. So, all right. SPY. So SPY a little bit different. Not much. Still empty space up above it. 24-hour time frame. Right. It's basically giving the same targets that we've had to use before. Right. And yesterday we were able to kind of, today rather, we're gapping up to that 601. You're already bouncing or trying to bounce off of. So even if it's a bounce off of 599.12, that's what's going to hopefully keep us up. Right, big wick right here. It's condensing buyers for the most part. So with that being said, the next resistance or target, right, is likely going to be the same one that we dealt with before, and that could limit the price action today. That's 602.90. Above that, you'll have a target of 604.70. So, is it an incredible setup? No. I would prefer a little bit more build, but anyway, You can look at it like this. Well, actually, let's go to the 15.
Did you end up taking that at the end of the day yesterday?
I did, yeah. Not a lot, but I did. So this one, like Q's, and I'm tempted to give it the box up here, right? And that'd be 601.91. And then pop over pre-market highs. Otherwise, right, same deal. You're above the box. In fact, you built one right here as well. So that's our current predicament. You know, channel can go by the wayside. So my message here this morning, I think, on these ETFs so far is it has to move today or it doesn't move at all. Like, we do need to break over these walls, and we need momentum, and it's the day before FOMC. So we're gonna read and react. We're gonna do our job. If something triggers, we're gonna take it. But if we don't see those triggers and things are moving sideways, I'm out. And I've been really, really proud of a lot of you guys in here of stepping away. So good job. All right, IWM opening up definitively in range, right? In between the two walls. So is this a good setup for me? Absolutely 100% not. Not something I'm interested in taking. I know that it needs to be above 222, but it's more than likely going to be the lower time frame, right? So you have a little bounce level at 224.40 underneath you. You know, you've got the failed punch up above you, so it's still basically 228 that needs to be reclaimed here. But it certainly looks like sellers are adamant about keeping you below 226 this morning. So, but no setup. I don't see a setup unless we punch through 224.30. Then you have a nice move down. So, not a great setup going into the ETFs today. Definitely needs some building. Maybe that means the end of the day we get some sort of movement. But other than, all we have to do is react. We don't need to fucking jump the gun. And it's bewildering to me because this morning there were already people trading futures and stuff, and I was like, man, dude, the price action right now is so bad. Like, there's hardly any 24-hour setup. So, all right. Good morning. What's up? Am I done with TikTok? No. I'm unbanned today at 9. Hold on, let me see. I'm not gonna lie, they're on my ass because everything that I've been posting has been getting flagged. So yeah, at 9:10, which I don't know if that's AM or PM. It doesn't really say. Oh no, it is AM. Yeah, so I can go live later on. Hate speech and hateful behaviors was my write up. I'll take it. All right, so Baba. Hopefully it's not F Baba. We did successfully, or yesterday, do decent at holding ourselves up. On the hourly, we are opening up in range. We need a straight rip. We cannot really afford too much downside today. So I'm going to warn you that if we punch underneath $89, that's it. Don't ask. That's your job. That's my job. $89, right? Can it bounce? Can it play around in that area? Sure. But as soon as we start breaking down, I'll just take it again because I have something to take it through. On the flip side of this, you are opening up the range, so if you can feel your gap bounce or even wick down, then bounce, we'd like to see a nice pop out. I still maintain the same target that I did previously. I still want to see this thing up in the 94s. But as we know, most of this stuff likely or usually happens overnight. All right, so unfortunately today, I am not showing up with any sort of incredible setup. But hopefully through request, maybe we can find something Something that is a little bit more clear. Yeah, hold on a second.
Do you like the Zim play still? You still in that, right? Obviously.
Yeah, yeah. Hold on one second.
Also, just while you're taking a little break, if you I don't know if this adds into your Baba trade, or if you ever take a, again, I don't know what info you take, but supposedly the calls on Baba for this week,
Uh-huh.
there's 12 million or something, like there are 12,000 calls compared to puts.
Wow. Yeah, people are definitely leaning to the upside here.
I
All
just
right.
don't know if it incorporates into you. I know you take some things in and some things not, but
I don't. If I'm being honest, I don't really can think about that at all. It's it's over the years I've learned, and not to say that it's not like okay, cool, like people are present. Um, but I have quite often when we had a flow bot in here that posted all these big flows, we would get into a trade, and then a day later, that flow would come in late. And so a lot of the flow that comes in, not all of it, but a lot of it can be, people who are trading during the day. So that I'm not always looking at the same thing as they are, but I've just learned that it pulls on my bias. And so I don't want to have anything that once the chart tells me what I should be looking at, and there's actually been times I've inversed flow. So I tread lightly around it, but
I agree with that. It does kind of make me feel biased.
yeah, it's like, okay, well, everybody's in calls. I shouldn't go short. But if I see something that says go short, I don't really care what everybody else is doing. All right, so Zim really quickly didn't really gap up over the wall, is sitting, right? We do have empty space underneath us. 713 is the stop right here. I want us to stay above that, and we just quite simply need a punch through 1824 so we can be on about our way into the 19s. So, all right, so if you guys have any requests, want me to take a look at anything, now is the time. Yeah, we gotta change that, dude. Action Bronson's fucking not as a good rapper as I thought he was. Anyway, yeah, go ahead and drop your guys' requests inside of the chat bubble, in the Discord, if you don't mind, and we shall see if we can find a good setup. But listen, discipline over everything. Okay, if it isn't clear, I ain't taking it. So that's just as simple as that. That's why I'm still here.
Oh, what's your stop on Chipotle too?
Right over here. 57.63. Need to clear over 58.81. That simple. All right. ABBV, I saw it on the request, so I was going to get to it. ABBV has a punchback up above it at 178.75. Nice curl back, right? Struggling underneath you, but you definitely pulled yourself up off of this cost basis. 4 hour, let's see here. You are at a rejection point. So just FYI, you are trying to grab onto a floor. God, what a mess. I don't know if I want to give it that or give it that. It's really gross on a lower time frame. Really gross. As of right now, above your 177, you do have the potential to pull back and retest. But over your pre-market highs, and this is not a super clear chart, I'm still aiming for 179. So, and that's basically your downtrend there, but really ugly volume. All right. Zoom. Well, that one's ugly too. Uh, so on the weekly, you are trying, and it's 82. So today it needs to be 82.35, or a punch and secure over 80. Yeah, 8 right here. It translates really well. So that's what you need to be above. That's your main resistance, and that's what you can go ahead and start aiming for cost basis with over. Otherwise, you do have empty space underneath you and a structure. So if you can't do that, you could be stuck in here. But interesting. All right. Not my favorite. SoFi is in a area of deliberation, if you will. It bounced off of the box underneath it, as it should. It's retested up above it, and now it's chopping in between. So my analysis here is, as long as you are in between these two ranges, you are more than likely going to be chopping. And any sort of lower time frame setup, right, is probably going to help you. So, like for example, this hourly candle close over on the hourly 1640 is where you could start to see some upside. But I definitely see the potential here to go build. And remember, if you come off of earnings and you're not, and not to say that you can't keep breaking down, but if you come off of earnings, sometimes they'll use that volume to kind of chop things up. So all right. Okay, here this morning, looks like you are above that. It looks like this cost basis. So that's an interesting spot. So your floor this morning is going to be 396.45. Your first resistance is going to be here at 411.27. And if that is able to be broken, right, that's where you basically have not a lot, right? You have these wicks, and so you would be aiming for 420 first as a target on Lulu, upon continuation, of course. All right. Yeah, you guys got some, right? We're just looking for that candle to push past that wall. That's it. I'm in that with you, so. Wow. Jesus Christ. My target on this one is 260.30. 260.30, and if you can close on that wall, your next target should be right in the 265.65 area. Incredible gap up. And it has earnings Wednesday. Oh, man. It's already making a damn earnings move. So part of me wants to call for this to come down. Being at the floor here this morning, and it's possible to dip into this imbalance around 1175. But because you've left a gap up above you, this actually is a candidate to potentially reverse here. You've got a little box here up above you, perfect, right? So watch for a retest of 1406 off of that bounce. If you can punch through that, go for the gap, go for 1580. Like that chart though. That one's really tough. Really, really tough. And I know it, let's see, that's all the way in April. So the reason this is tough is it's already gone and hit its target, right? It's already filled up that empty space, and you pulled back and you haven't lost anything. So it means that buyers are still happy with the price that they currently are at, or that it's at. So 4-hour time frame. So over your pre-market highs of $40.07, you could take another crack at making it all-time high, or excuse me, new highs with a target of 41.60. And then obviously this is the floor at 42.50 that it's trying to go and reclaim. Zach, I could see some range trading, but going into tomorrow, yeah, Zim is moving. I don't watch it. Don't look at it. Hmm? Yeah, don't look. I don't look at it. I don't want you to wig myself out.
What is your price target on
Oh, really? That's funny. Peyton's out here calling people basic ass white people. That's crazy. Right in front of the school. This kid tried to almost pull it out into the crosswalk. And the cross guard thought it was funny. So Stonky, we need to know where you're looking. What are you looking for here? You looking up?
It was intriguing to me on that big candle to the left. It looks like you could have a punchback through that box right above you. It's kind of in like an area of.
Talking about that? Or up here?
Yeah, the one right where you see it at the 24 out, right at that number.
Okay. Part of me, because of this gap up and rip up to the structure above, feels that it's a bit invalidated. I don't think it changes the fact that if you were to hit your gap, which you have actually, that is cost basis or the old one. So more or less, I'd be looking at this right on a lower time frame and expecting over $100.65 to be breaking out. Right, and at that point, you could start aiming for 111.66. So right now, the price.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. Like that small little box, if you want to call that, right, with that you have highlighted. After that, it seems like it's
Yeah.
a good piece of empty space.
Yeah, I could see it. Yeah, I could see it even going and trying to hit resistance. So, all right. QBTS up. So QBTS just quite simply needs to get outside of, I mean, it needs to get above cost basis today, right? And that's 606. If that happens, then maybe we could start curling back up. But you do have empty space underneath you as well, under that 522. But whenever you're in range, I'm going to give you that analysis. You're in range, so mark your highs and lows. Oh wow. You need 191. 191 build, and then you could start looking for a move all the way to 207.
Hey, have you done Chipotle yet?
I have, yeah, but take a look at it again.
I'll go look for the video.
That is the previous wall. That is like, and yeah, there was a gap there, right? We already technically filled it. I'm using this previous resistance that you fell into as that's where you need to be again. And so I would watch for a retest today, or in the coming days for that retest up there. So, listen, this is the start of what, whenever it compresses or, contraction, expansion, and there's a lot of contraction here. Now, earnings is all the way in February, so you still have plenty of time. And I mean, just drawing it simply, you are really well contained in this box, but you're super consolidated at the above cost basis mark. So I would be looking, yeah, for a lower time frame punchback and move outside of 76 in order to achieve that goal. And there's a lot of empty space up there, so I'd be aiming for at least half of it. Not bad. I like the compression on that. I like the potential channel here. Hold on. I didn't see that until just now. Maybe? Kind of? Yeah, so, and it looks like 80-11 will also be that kind of imbalance on the wick target, but that's it.
When you stop
Right now? Can we
box, you look at that as like very bullish.
say that again? I didn't hear the first part.
When you start to see that trend upward, like higher lows within a large box, do you consider that like a bullish? It's starting to tighten up like the tension within that box, and it could just like explode like that shot you were just looking at.
Yeah, something that's in a range, but also carrying an uptrend. Yeah, I'll more than likely be biased towards the upside. In range, I try to withhold that, but if I can see that, yeah, that a channel, especially if I can see that channel expands or has the potential to expand, of course. So, Tenet Healthcare right up against the floor here. So cost basis will be your next target at 143 to trigger you up to retest 152. So hopefully today's the day. All right, BA up, and I know they have earnings. I've spoken about their earnings not being very good over the last couple of years. I am not taking it, but it is trapped right in between your signal down and your signal up, and I think we talked about that too going into earnings. So looking at it going 1-2, right, 1-2, you could start to see another wave down to the bottom.
Garrett already had it.
It Oh, it did? Then watch over 180.27 to try to start moving up. But this is the parameters. This is where you either go down. Let's see. Wow, that is fuck that. I feel guilty even charting that. Whoa. Fucking A, dude. Listen.
Down to 171, 172.
I haven't traded BA in so long, and fuck it. Fuck off. Look at that. That is the most absurd chart I think I've seen in a long time. So here, but the good thing about it is that it gives you clear walls, so like that's where you can kind of rest assured that those are going to be decent targets, and you have a little box in between you. So listen, knock yourself out, but it's above 177. You can take a shot at 179, or it's a breakdown of that floor at 173, and I mean you're still pinched. So it's like there's no signal here yet until one of these breaks. So BBWI, one day, brother, one day. But I'm gonna. Yeah, I get it. It has to be 37.75. It has to be a candle close green up against that floor, or your pre-market lows today are marking potential downside. So react to either one of those. But that is where either A, we can start climbing back up and hit cost basis, or B, break down into empty space. And I'll tell you what, I'll set an alert at that floor. Because that's, because I would short that down. I would short that down.
It tapped 35.50 today, and I'm like, Ian, it left a little gap pre-market. I'm like, oh, is today the day?
Yeah, I think inevitably it does. Just with that empty space underneath it and the way the channel looks, it's kind of hard to argue with it. But all right. I can't see what chart that is, Filio. Oh, that's Dollar Tree. Okay. OGN. You'll be finding some interesting tickers.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
JetBlue dumping on dim earnings.
Mm-hmm. Yummy. You're looking for a move over 1640 to move up into the $17 floor, if today is the day. But boy, has it been chopping the shit out of people. That's excruciating price action. Blake, 113. Bro, that what? But where's the trigger for that? You know, nothing has happened. You know, yesterday we came down, we tested cost basis underneath us perfectly. This morning we're opening up below that. So everything like what you're talking about, and this is where we're imagining a potential channel floor would be. I could probably redo that. Right. So you would have to go into this lower time frame, and there you go. Right? Over and this is again another area where I'll set an alert, but until that triggers that gap fill at 102. So you're I'm not saying that expiration date isn't good, but where's the trigger to take you there? You know what I mean? Like that's purely speculative unless you get, I mean, even if you were to take that at this box, at least you would have a stop loss. But taking it right now, I wouldn't. I like it for a day trade in those empty spaces though. I mean, it's definitely going to be a good time. Ooh, man. So you did yesterday close up against it. Today you've gapped out. Watch for a retest off of 264. And hopefully you have the juice to go ahead and bounce and clear that wick, which is also representative of a floor here to your left at 227.80. So if that floor can be reclaimed, your next target is 290. You're at a resistance, which is going to be this left arm, right? That's right around 475. So you're right there. And then obviously in the 24-hour, this rises up a little bit to around 480. Now you lack structure unless you move down here, which gives you a small box. So 487 today. Hopefully would give this thing a new high, but it's a little rough. I mean, you are directly at that shoulder, and a lot of the times, you know, they'll set it up as a head and shoulders, and it still won't go down, but that is a reasonable resistance. So if you can clear that, I would say 484 right up at the top, and more than likely that would create or be representative, yeah, of your box. So now that's pretty interesting, and they have earnings soon, correct? Listen, I will take that earnings every time. It looks juicy. Why the fuck wouldn't I? And I know Pins is cheap. So it's so stupid cheap. You could buy it, you know, this week and probably not lose much. But 34.40 is and I think this is waiting for earnings. I would prefer it. I don't want this to. You don't want this thing to leave now, right? You want it locked in the box. So stay below 34.18, and that opens up a play all the way to 40, or even just halfway at 32. So be patient on this one because I think it's there's a bigger reward here. I will take that every single time. So I'm just, again, and this is no insult to anybody who's dropped a request. Out of all of the things I looked at, right? And this is my patience. This is my discipline. Out of all the things I looked at, and there's a couple like CMG and Zen and everybody in those, a lot of these stocks, right, where they lack structure or they lack volume, something that like this pops out of my screen. It says the contracts are cheap, we have been in range, we have empty space up above, and we're going into an extremely volatile event. What more could I ask for? If it doesn't work, I will not. I might be upset in the moment, but I will not overall. I'll do it again. Every single time. This is the kind of chart that we win on. So, I like pins. Hold on one second. Whew. Damn, it's hot. All right. So,
Hey Potter.
yeah, what's up?
On pins, what prices would you set?
40.
Trigger that.
Oh, triggers? No, I would take it before earnings. But I mean, outside of 34.25, you don't really have much of a choice. You have to set your stop loss on top of that. So. I don't like that. I mean, it doesn't matter what I like, but you know, let's see. Most recent price action box. But then you also have this floor right here, and that's what you're dealing with now. So what a weird chart, right? Lower time frame chart, but that's where you need to go and recover. So this morning, what is above and what is below? All these little fucking boxes here drive me crazy. So 954.27 and above your 964, 965 mark. Basically what you're looking at, and I would assume that this is a lower time frame box right here. You need to punch through this. If you can do that, man, will you get the fuck out of here, dude? Right here, right? So if we can punch over that, I would say a target of 8 or 985. On the 24-hour, it looks good for a curl back up. But when you look at the structure, it's just right there. So 982. RCL with earnings, not really much of a result there. Nice bounce. Is this all-time highs? Yeah, brother, this is so you are in a box. I can't, there's nothing else I could say except the highs of 258.50, right? You don't have a box. So it gets simple, but it's also a little bit of a pain in the ass, right? That's your stop loss, and that's that. Or if you can, you know, maybe you can raise it up a little bit to the wick at 249.80, and that's the first target, and then you're just playing it out. But yeah, it could rip out, but if it does, I think it gets pulled back in by the end of the day. So NVIDIA, all right. So obviously the forefront of all of this news and turmoil that's going on is NVIDIA with the deep sea bullshit. This morning you have not opened up in an area where anything says go up yet, right? And let me explain. So underneath that wall, which is where we fell underneath, and this wall, but more importantly this one, that is where you're tucked under, right? And so on 2-hour time frames, you can already see that it's basically right up above 127. If you want to take NVIDIA up, that would be right around where I want my stop loss. Otherwise, I could see building sideways just like this in that range. And you can see, like, yeah, typically after a big move like this on NVIDIA, you know, you see big move sideways, you know, it's just kind of how NVIDIA moves. So, yeah, I mean, I think recovering that, though, also says that you're going to go up much further, and are the conditions and sentiment right for that? So, yeah, I would even pay attention to the 114 floor this morning below you, but no trade for me on that one. Not until the trigger fires. So Yeah. So I like the empty space on this one. Looks like you're building a box. I would almost be completely unbiased and just reactionary, right? Above the double wicks here, 3382, you've got empty space to the upside, right? And then to the downside, we got empty space all the way to 266.50. So no matter what, there's a play here, right? But that wick yesterday, boy, I tell you what, if they push this back up, they're going to put sellers in a really bad position. So, and a lot of the times these big whippy price actions like this can start the formation of some sort of trend. So you need to see, you got to, whenever we're going to secure something, right? A big move like that wick right there holds. That candle holds. And that's what you need to see is a candle hold outside of that range. And that range changes a little bit, right? So you just have a bounce level at 29.50. But that's it, you know. Yeah, look at that $35 mark right there. I think I did this one. No, maybe I didn't. So I still, and this is something I can't even really go on the lower time frame with, but why are there so many fucking boxes? You are on the floor. We're gonna give that the whole floor. 178.22. That is our next trigger and cost basis to hopefully fire us up. And you've got a box here, and so it'd be 182.32 first, and then that might get you the rest of the empty space there. But it's also something where you could start speculating even on a channel here, because you are where most people would consider pinched. So candle closed outside of the box, Rick. Let me see. Yeah, don't look at it. Don't look at it. All right, just a few more, guys, and then I hope everybody is very not scared, but I hope you guys are paying attention to detail today, especially when it comes to price action. So Microsoft is tapping off of an old cost basis, right? That was punched through, but never really, price action never really moved through it. So it's holding some volume here. As of right now, you're going to have a floor that's here, and basically you're sitting in between the triggers. So above your pre-market highs, you could try to go for that gap fill. Under 432, we could be looking at some sort of retest below us. So, all right, Mara, TSM, and Airbnb here. Mara. Now, somebody asked me about Mara. Obviously, if it triggers up, there's a play to the upside big time. And then man, I'm saying this about so many stocks. I'm starting to scare myself. You are stuck in range. You are in range. Like, not just in a box. You're in between your triggers down and your triggers up. This is so for some people, and sometimes I feel bad because I'm like giving people like, oh, you're gonna go sideways, like, great. But this is my favorite time to start looking at the potential behind a stock, right? Where can it go up and where can it go down? The reason being is it's giving you the opportunity to take advantage of one or the other signals. There's a gap fill, and so Mara above 19, fill the gap, right? Then look for the punch back and a move up to 2160. Or maybe you punch down, and I don't have any analysis for that. 1550. So use these charts wisely, because the result of being having attention to detail here is I think going to really pay off. There's money to be made here. TSM 24-hour time frame holding the floor. You dipped underneath you, tapped off of a cost basis. Little underbox here. But the floor that you're needing to go and reclaim is your pre-market highs at 195.55. So TSM recovery relies on its pre-market highs getting pulled back above, or like I just said, you're stuck in between two signals, right? You punched through this box, you made a new low, and now you're bouncing to retest that empty space. So yeah, if you want to go up, you need to climb and hold 198.55. And if you want to take this thing down, you need cost basis for your lows to break. So, holy fuck, there's a lot of stocks I'm giving almost the same analysis on. That's just a sign right there that either we get a fuck ton of volume and that moves us, or we wait because we know a fuck ton of volume. All right, my brother in Christ, why do you call me? I hope you're listening, dog. You got to stop calling me at... I've been telling you for years that I start the day at 9:30. I'm about to send you this YouTube link so you can watch this. Yeah, you know what? Fuck, I'm just sending the YouTube link. I don't understand, bro. I've been telling this guy for years that every day between 8:30 and 9:30 is the live market, pre-market show. Kind of irritates me a little bit.
Is that Manny?
I'm sorry, y'all.
No, it's not me. I'd answer the phone for Manny.
Okay.
No, it's one of my friends from my past life, man. Been trying to help him out for a long time, and dude just does not. And I'm not in charge of that, but he's just one of those people I've slowly kind of had to cut off because I know that every conversation that he has with me is another way to try to extract money because he's in a rough situation. So.
If he just went to your YouTube, he just heard about it, and so now y'all are completely separated.
Oh, I've told him this. I've told him how I feel, but yeah, he's not really a great listener. It's just my life has changed. I've tried to help my friends, and now I have no friends. So look how that worked out, huh? One of my friends told me when I remember I offered to buy him something because he was like, yeah, I've been trying to get this. It's, really help with my pain. I was like, sure. Like, I know it's a little pricey, man, but let me buy it for you. And the day following, we had like this falling out. And he told me I was so full of myself. I was like, because I'm excited and living my life and not in the same place that we were together 10 years ago. That's the craziest thing is in 10 years, nothing about that man's life changed at all. And the minute I tried to show him what I did, it was like he took it the wrong way. Couldn't explain it to you. Don't understand.
Stem cell treatment?
Nope.
Be your best friend forever?
Is what? Yeah. Yeah, and then I think one of my friends, man, just kind of like he doesn't realize that I understand because I've lived amongst these people in survival mode. But he will call me and give me a base story. The story, he's like, he'll say, I don't need anything from you. The story is to give me like the background of what's going on in his life. Then he'll call again, right? And he'll be like, man, he's like, I'm trying to figure this out. He's like, and then he'll like kind of hang up the phone. It's like weird, dude, that he thinks that I'm like not seeing this. And then finally, after I know that he's been going through it, he'll call and he'll be like, man, can I just, can I borrow like 20? And I'm like, 20, dude, if you're going to ask for money, bro, ask for some money. Like, don't ask for $20. But, he'll ask for more than that. He'll be like, yo, can I, I'm trying to get a room tonight. Do you have any work to do? And I'm like, bro, listen, I'm trying to show you how to stop working. I've offered to put money in your account and you have the opportunity to sit right next to me and learn, and they won't. Can't help those type of people. So, but anyway, 127.50 bounce on Airbnb and then a pop over 129.16 to go and fill the empty space 131. Other than that, you got a fucking mess up above you. And that's what needs to be broken through. So. Yep, lost all my friends trying to change my life too. It happens, man. It happens, but you know, it's not like this is inaccessible to them. I mean, they literally have me. Not to say I'm the, God's gift to Green Earth, but like I could help her or help them, find even if one play hit for him in that situation, dude. It could be, really change. It could change your life. It could help you get your license. It could help you get all your documents so you don't have any more trouble getting jobs. But I try to explain that shit and they don't listen. So, who am I?
GM puts for earnings.
Mm-mm.
The puts are about to print.
844.63 on Eli Lilly looks like a really good weekly target. I would assume 24-hour target too as well. All right.
What did you get, Cade, for puts?
I bought the 50s.
Nice.
Cade, you really asking me for a chart on the simplest chart in the entire world? I'm demoting you, dude.
Dude, I don't ask you for analysis. I just give it to you so that you can put it out to the masses.
I don't want that. That's not what this is for.
Well,
if you want to put it out to the masses. Okay. I feel like you might feel that way for real, dude. Hold on.
I did a 7-cent to a $100 challenge last night.
Hold on, guys. I'm preparing the orchestra for Cade. Rigotti has a punchback potential over $14. Empty space $17.65. So when are you going to organize a meetup and in-person group trading session? I don't know if you guys have gathered this, but I've got anxiety. I like being by myself. It's going to take a lot for me to organize something like that. I don't know. It's going to have to be forced upon me.
That just makes me want to find your address even that much more.
I'll move.
I woke up one morning and I was just staring at you through your window.
I mean, I don't know if that's the move.
Can I come in? Can I come chart with you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. One day though, I mean, I'd love to meet you guys, especially some of you guys who've been in here for a long time. It'd be really cool to have a good learning opportunity, but also trade together. But I also just don't really get out of the house. As soon as I get done with this, I'm doing something else. I'm with the kids or working with the chickens or working on the house or working on the cars.
I can help you work with everything, puppy.
Hey, yo.
I'm just saying I'm handy. I'm not sure where your mind's going, but...
Emphasis on the hand. All right, everybody take this time to brace yourself on Baba and whatever else that we're in. Know where you're going to get out. There's not a question this morning, right? We can always get back in. So if you are scared of losing or just have a hard time losing, accept that this is where it's not losing. This is where we get out. And I think we've established that. Baba needs to bounce off of that 89.80 and clear the wick. Zim needs to punch back through the box, which it's already struggling with. Our stop loss there is 1731. So, and if you have anything on SPY or the Qs, right, our options here are limited. So, I've been in Baba Man and I have a little bit of cushion underneath me. I'm in this week's. So I don't know if it's this week would probably be the strike because I expect it to happen this week. So I guess the question would rather, you know what, if I could decide on where we would hold the meetup, then I'd probably get the ball rolling. I don't know where we would do that.
Your house?
Not my house. Hell no.
My house?
Go to Vegas.
Definitely not Kay's farm.
Zim just punched down.
It's still holding. All right, 1 second.
kind of fucked. It had something to do with the China deal and the robo taxi cost him my ass of money.
Yeah, fuck China.
Come to Palestine. Are you watching this? There's no way. All right, guys. Everybody clench your cheeks until it squeaks. I don't know. I'm sorry. Just gotta trust the chart here this morning. 4 hour. Yeah, I think Baba will pull back and bounce first, but I need something a little bit more peaceful this morning. I'm out by 10:30 if this is trash. We can play video games. We can... I do like MU, though. I kind of like the way that thing looks a little twerky. For some reason... maybe. I'm not really in the mood for Sea of Thieves. Maybe I'll beat Put Brothers up in boxing. Of what? WM?
IWM.
IW. Oh, who's talking right now?
Are you playing Bad Bunny?
Yeah?
Yo, yo, yo.
Your mom.
We're gonna chop.
Yeah, I know. I know, dude. I feel so. I mean, no, either so much has to happen with so little data. We have 10 a.m. data, but you know, it's tough because yeah, I feel it. But and you know what's weird is I'm like in the mood to day trade for some reason. So, if you're looking for MU and you're looking for an entry, you can use this box right here.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be negative, but
no, we're being realistic. We're open. Here's all I'll say. I hope we're wrong, but. Well, actually, no. Well, hold on. I take that back. I lied. I kind of want the chop. All right, MU. I kind of want the chop because the chop means that we're building into tomorrow.
agree.
Muy importante.
Ops line.
Zumba.
Okay, calmarmos.
I do not know.
Do we need to calm down?
Oh my god, these GM puts just paid.
All right, them, you little shit.
You have 20 call?
I have 20 calls and 19s. I didn't spend a lot on these positions, but I actually have quite a few contracts, so I'm looking for a 1733 bounce. Baba's trying to move to the right direction. We need the gas on the foot on the gas. How to count to 20 in Spanish. Who are?
JetBlue. I took it for earnings.
Oh. Well, aren't you just a lucky guy?
I had those 750 puts.
God, these contracts are fucking lame. Touch me.
I just turned GM puts turned 600 into 2200.
Not bad.
They paid.
What are you, a psychopath? Be celebrating, dude. Might be his day's over.
Oh yeah, my days. I mean, I'm just basically just handling these positions and setting up for tomorrow. I don't think today's going to be very good.
Nope. We are trying to punch down into structure here. Watch SPY. MU has empty space underneath it. I would set a stop loss at the wick at 91.30 or at 91.50 here. If that's what I'm not, but if you do take it down, I'd say 89.28. Just throwing some. Y'all say I don't do signals, but I'll be just doing analysis like that. So.
Hey Gary, could you check target, please?
Sure. Nice bounce on Zim. That's what I wanted. That's what I want. Okay. Okay, target. Nice punch back. Yeah. Dude, you already got you. Are you in this?
Yes, brother.
147 and 145.
Yeah, I'm in shop. Awesome. Three being just dumped.
Shh. Yeah, anybody take Shopify? That did go straight to the target, didn't it? Oh shit.
112s.
Peyton has those. Fuck.
Apple just took off. Are you still in Apple, Potter?
I am. Let's see. Apple. Yeah, I'm looking at
Empty space now.
Yeah, we could see 238 today. Yo, Baba could be coming down now to fill that gap. Eyes down. Yeah, oh, SPY? You know, SPY did tap that top, but it is bouncing right here. Anybody take MU? Stop loss is 91.50. 50% mark, and then 89. Wow, that was easy. It's a little bit too late, man. When I said it was when it was time. That's what with day trade. That's one of my things behind signals, man. Is like I'm gonna tell you before it happens, but a lot of times when like signals go out, it's happening, and it's like so hard to set a stop loss. I would say it's a little bit late, man. I wouldn't. In fact, that you're at the imbalance now, and you just responded to it at $90. So.
An alert on NU is N is in Nancy U. It's a good spot.
Yeah, it's oddly building at the top of that box, but lots of pressure. 1250 is where I want to see that candle close on the 2. And then you can see right there, right where you tapped, 1250.
Yeah.
All right, SPY. I'm going to vominos. Damn, MU. Huh?
What are the targets on shop?
Target's hit, man. That play was over. Yeah, well, if it continues to go, then the target's 113. But you're at what I'm considering the imbalance and the resistance. You know that I had Shopify contracts on Peyton's account. She also has a shit ton of Zim. Can I look at what? Amazon. Someone got you locked up, man? Free my mans. It sounds like you're in a closet or something. I didn't hear half of that. How's that doing? There you go. Nice. Yep. Amazon is chopping around its box right now, which is a rare phenomenon where you'll build a box around cost basis and it will kind of fuck around. So right now you can literally use that box and its high, which is 235.72 or 70, 72, and that's where we can start looking for a breakup. But your signal down, however, is not until we close or push through this box, which has 232.34 as a downside trigger. So it looks like it wants to absolutely explode when I look at it on the 24-hour, but if it's waiting, maybe it's waiting for tomorrow. So, I mean, it does not look bad. I will admit it looks pretty good with that giant wick right there. So, or maybe it's earnings that it comes out and shoots all the way up and it's just lagging. If anybody took MU, you should be trimming.
Market's going short.
Yeah, SPY is breaking underneath this wall, folks, and that's an out right there. 598.87, and cost basis lurking there. So
those Q calls didn't work out, I guess.
no, they did not. No, they did not. They popped underneath the stop loss right here at 516. Anybody take MU? No?
I wanted a bigger hit, but
Damn, sound like a crackhead.
you know it.
A big hit, man.
Are folks still on CMG and Zim calls?
Yeah, we are. Zim's okay. CMG is okay. Apple's still ripping up. Yeah. Apple is still moving up here. My next target's right around 236.88 on the hourly, and then hopefully we can see all the way to 238. But
Very nice.
yeah, very nice. Yeah, yesterday was a punchback and then another punchback. Built a box on cost basis, and this morning that's all mechanics. And it's crazy because SPY is falling. Apple doesn't give a shit. It just speaks to the mechanics in the market. And you know what's one of the first things you learn from most people is that stocks follow SPY. And that's not saying that's not true. All right, if you are, which I don't think anybody is in MU, but if you are, this is trim.
Potter, do you still have runners for SoFi?
No, I don't. I have no more SoFi, man. I get scared sometimes.
Yeah, I think it's time to un-SoFi those.
The way that it dumped, it's got to keep dumping hard. I need that dumpy right there. 15.15. Small box, and then see a target of 14.84 today.
Yeah, I guess I have puts that I hedged with, so I guess I'll hold on to those.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's only Tuesday. So if this can keep breaking down. I'm not mad at CMG, guys. It's lagging underneath that box that we talked about yesterday, right? And that's okay. It's not losing anything. So underneath you. So again, when I said this morning, make sure you have a plan, right? You know it's above and below you. That's how you come into the day, and you don't have to sit there and stress out. 57.70 lost on CMG is the stop loss with empty space underneath you, right? And we need to be closing above 58.34. I don't think that it's done as long as it can hold here today.
Hey Gary, you think if we get below 512.50 on the Qs, you can see another leg down?
Right now it's 510.82, and then I already mapped this out. It's going to be a imbalance 507.
Okay, thank you. I came in late today.
All good.
Is the news coming out like in 20 minutes? Potter?
Is news coming out?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we have consumer confidence coming in at 10. Huh. 89. 89.18 is going to be the exit here on MU. I'm going to stop talking about it. I don't think anybody else is in. All right, CMG. Now you're starting to tickle.
Runners are still printing.
Apple and MU are my winners today. My Q and CMG. Zim's just sitting there, which is better than falling. But 1, 2, 3 now, or 1, 2, 2 on both sides now.
JetBlue, wait. Jesus, I can't talk. JetBlue, hey.
Hey guys, I'm gonna go ahead and dip out of CMG. I will get in if we start. We have a box up above us, so I don't need to sit there and worry. If you plan on holding, there's a channel here that I'm observing, and it's breaking. So yes, so here's what I want, and right now Apple being an exception, I would prefer not to see a bigger move today, right? And or this, we dump into today, but don't lose our range. So we have a red day, and right now we're setting up for that right now. And then tomorrow we use that selling volume to flip this back up and go fill the gap. That's what I would like to see. So maybe this is setting up for it, and let's see if we can spot a channel here on SPY now that we have. So yeah, let's see if we get a big dump. You know, right now cost basis at 597.81. CMG could exit.
Nike's holding up.
Yeah, Apple is doing well. I just trimmed on Apple.
Garrett, my bad. I walked off. What'd you say about Babo? Were you gonna give it the gap fill to bounce, or were you out?
If the gap fill fills, yeah, that it can stay in this box. But if it leaves the box and 89 is lost, I mean, this play is gonna be a dud. So the tough thing, I want to be able to hang on to it, but because I know it gaps up and shit, but I have to abide by my stop losses, and that's just the tough pill to swallow when you play this. Damn MU, perfect target hit right there. What is this doing on here? Thank God for fucking Apple. Can't believe I would ever say that. And MU. That is 3 rejections off the top on Baba. That's the only other warning I can say. Is that is the third.
Could you take a look at RGTI? I think it's about to fill some white space, some empty space.
What is the ticker?
RGTI, Rigetti.
Oh yeah, that one is trying to grab onto his floor right now. 4 hour. You can see that attempt. It's 1360 that's trying to be held and being faded. So right now buyers are definitely not having a great time. It also appears that there's a channel here. So if you could hold that, perhaps you can go up and test into that 1465 area. But here, downside. And this is where you're sitting below. Well, fuck, you got another one too. Hold on. So you're really pinched. So 1236 down and then up, right? It's just the wicks at 1350. So I would be on standby. Mm-hmm. If you guys are or have experienced CMG didn't work out, or one of the ETFs, where Baba's not working out, get out of them at or if now or whatever the marks are. Don't get caught up on today when we know damn well, right, that there is money to be made tomorrow. You also have a lot of earnings tonight and tomorrow. Yo, is MU? Where are you going? So if MU bounces back outside of 89.30, you could see this empty space. And this is really dope because you could play this back up given the opportunity. It was a good trend on Apple. Damn, look at Crocs. Oh.
I tried to play Crocs puts like a week or two ago, but that thing just kept chopping down.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for it, but I like the candle today going against the grain. If it could close up against 105, I'll take leapish targets up to 118 for a big weekly punchback.
Copy that.
Good bounce off of cost basis on MU. I'm out. And bounce. See if it holds. I got the hold on one second. I got the 89s for a day trade earlier. Yeah. This went up almost 200%. I said this morning. I was like, I feel like I want I feel a day trade because I never feel like that in the morning. But MU was rejected off a cost basis above and then punched down. I was like, all right. Wow, Diz filled its empty space down. So everything is creating empty space back up and leaving boxes behind. Interesting. Q's with a nasty bounce. Right off of cost basis. They are wrecking people right now. What the fuck are we listening to? Never again. All right, floor recovery on the Qs coming. Let's see. Here's our floor. And there's our box.
Nvidia is fighting hard to try to go up.
Yeah, just refuse that floor again, though. Not really. Yeah, not really. I mean, you need a punchback over 515.50, and then you need I mean, and again, I'm not gonna react until the market does. So if you can do those things, then my answer would be sure. But I think that with the amount of data that we have tomorrow, and with FOMC, we want this chop ultimately. And that's perspective, right? We know that if it stays sideways, then that opens up the potential for us to make these really, really big moves. And bouncing right here on the Qs, if we can hold that low for today, then it looks a lot better going into the upside tomorrow. But we have all day, so we'll see what we get. Right now, that floor is we're literally doing this right now. We're trying to push up and grab that floor. One candle can't, because this could wick that floor and then get pulled right back down. Nvidia's just tried to grab his floor.
What do y'all think of Nvidia calls?
It's got empty space up above it to do that. I think, I mean, for a short-term play, sure.
Mine are up 15% already.
I grabbed the bounce on Google.
Above 124, 125.20 on Nvidia, that's where we can look at, like, there's a lot of money to be made eventually. But yeah, right now I'm even looking at the hourly here. We got a lot more work to do. MU just gave me an alert. Nothing. Good pull on that candle.
Bounce.
Yeah. Good pull on that candle, though. Look at the 24-hour. Two red candles sitting side by side. It's almost like it has to turn a little bit green today. I wonder if it only goes up to 520 if it does pop. All right, well now with this floor reclaim, we need a 5-15-50 punch, and that should give us a shot at the highs again. And at that point, I can say, yes, there might be a high of day outside of the previous day ranges.
Shop is flying.
I gotta keep watching that one because I still have runners for Peyton's account.
Does it look like Zim is curling up to you, like on the 5 and 15?
I'm watching this. Yeah, a little bit.
Shop just hit my first price target.
This is the most positions I've had in. I mean, at the start of the day, the most positions I've had in probably like 6 or 7 months.
Like 8 or more.
Yeah, I have 9. Excuse me. God damn. There you go, Q's. So that was an entry right there. MU is giving a potential entry right here as well for a potential upside play. It's lacking a lot of volume, but 89.50 would be a decent stop if you're trying to get that empty space back up. You're going to have to go with target based at 91, which means that it's going to be higher risk. It's a day trade, so.
contracts do people have on Nvidia?
I don't have any.
The ones that pay.
I got 10 days out.
Sorry, what was the strike?
I grabbed 130s for this week when we bounced
140.
it off 117.
There's already 5K volume on the chain for that strike.
I think I'm gonna take that.
Nice job, Q's. Second entry's about to break here.
I'm glad I left my shop runners.
Yeah. With all that empty space up there, you got to a little bit.
Honestly, I looked at the 5-minute candles and I should have probably just kept looking at them because there was only one red one and I could have just waited.
Yeah.
What are you seeing, like 519 out of the queues today, possibly?
520 is 519 and some change.
Whose mic's open?
Not sure.
Somebody driving in the car.
Or rolling, nice little rolly.
Sounds like somebody doing paperwork.
My typewriter.
Don't drink in Potterbox.
I have a great time when I drink in Potterbox.
Yeah, it was a fun event.
I meant to say don't drive in Potterbox, sorry.
Just trying to clear that entry.
Based on some of these stickers, it looks like we're slowly coming back.
We are. Yeah, we're slowly trying to push up against that selling pressure. MU looks good. Q's look good. Zim's not looking great. CMG bounce. Apple is the apple of my eye. I don't know if anybody's still in that one.
And I was looking at that one yesterday. Didn't take it.
Unity.
Amazon.
What are targets on MU?
Yeah, it's going up to that.
Well, your first one is going to be right around 90.50, which you're close to, but the ultimate target is just to retest that empty space at 91.27.
So maybe wait for that before jumping into calls?
If you were going to jump into calls, was when I said this is all day trading stuff, so it's super fast. So like right there off the top at 89.50, that's where you want to be able to set your stop loss, which is why I called for that to be set there. Because if you were to pull back, you'll bounce off of 89.50 before you break down underneath it. I don't do much day trading. Today's kind of a bit out of character, but
Zim is at 17.55. Is that the stop?
no, the low. Right there. 17.40.
Okay. Thank you, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
I was just gonna say it hit 44.
All this PTSD made me sell my shop too early.
I'm a little overexposed right now. Having to manage a lot of positions at the moment. Yeah, what's up?
Hey, I just wanted to confirm, did you create a new Twitter account?
No.
Oh, okay.
Why? Is there another Potter Stocks?
Yeah.
Does it have the same profile picture?
Potter Stocks trading on X is retweeting all the games that I've been posting.
I think I saw that yesterday.
I'll send you a screenshot.
I'm looking right now. Yeah, I see it. Potter Stocks trading. Yeah, no, that's a scammer. Okay, Q's just went and tapped that pre-market box right here. Technically making a new high. This is a 5-minute chart, so you're going to get 5-minute results. Zim has a bounce floor at 1734 if your tolerance can hold up to that. Hi, Pearl. Hi, Pearly.
Apple's still ripping.
Yeah, no. It's one of the things that's keeping me green right now. Wow. What's TSM doing right now?
Unity having a nice push.
Damn. Yeah, Trump just put tariffs on Taiwanese semiconductors.
What does that mean?
There we go, Apple. Fuck. Jesus. Apple.
Anybody else grab Unity?
No, that's all you, dude. You're the Unity guy.
Just
It was
unify
active chart. I
myself.
charted when I took it.
Hi, baby.
Anybody in Amazon?
Huh? Okay. I don't have my wallet. Everything.
Amazon's
Amazon
breaking
chat?
out.
Wow.
No, equity, not options. But I just noticed it's breaking out. Wondered if anybody was in it.
I called. Is that dude? That's the one I literally called earlier to explode. I just took my eyes off of it for 2 seconds. God damn it. That's all right. I can't fucking. I can't fucking do it all.
Anyone in Sentinel? It's running.
Zim is
Chipotle bounced. Look for yeah.
It's
Zim's.
about to tap the top of a downward trend on the 1 hour.
He's moving to cost basis here. Thank God for fucking Apple, dude.
In Shopify.
Yeah, in shop. Well, Peyton's mostly in shop, not me.
I just got out.
Snapped off the top right there on shop.
anybody still in Zim. Hi.
All my positions are green.
I'm getting you.
Hold on 1 second.
All mine except GM are.
Attention.
I have 20 contracts. I'm considering trimming half.
What's the ticker?
Just the letter S.
That's what I thought. It wasn't pulling up. I got it now.
Bottom right of the Potter screen share. But he has a 4 hour. I'm looking at the 3 minute, 5 minute. And to your point, like having discipline with trimming is like, I think what I'm learning is the key to good trading.
Still holding. It's still holding above, so it looks like it's building. Let me break down the smaller time frame. Yeah, so for me, it's still holding above these levels. It's holding above this 24, 25 level.
28.
Right, it's still holding here. It's building a box on top of that. So that's what I like to see, is that it shoots up above like the area you want it to be in, like in the empty space, and build a box there instead of building a box underneath it, underneath levels, right? So you're above that level. You're building a box, completely different story with Shopify than Shopify, I guess.
Right. So it sounds like for Sentinel, just be patient, set that target at 20, what is it, 27, 28 or something like that.
What are your contracts?
2450 calls.
2450. So you're almost in the money. When do they expire?
This week.
So 3 days?
Yep.
I just watch it at this level. How much are you up?
83%.
Yeah, so the trade hasn't really worked yet for me. But did you hit 100% up there?
I may have. I don't know. I'm just, yeah. I need to have a
You need to
different
pay
view for
attention
that.
to that. So that what I would have done is I would have made it free when it hit 100%. That way you wouldn't. It would have been much easier to hold that 3 days and watched it. I would have been fine with it falling all the way back to 2362 and holding it till, I mean, hell.
Yeah, it's at 95 now.
Anybody still in Apple?
I am.
239.29 here, dude. 239, and then the top of this red candle, which is 240. Which, fuck. Yeah, these contracts, I'm up ridiculous right now. Yeah, this went from being like, okay, I'm a little green to like, this is a good ass day.
When did you take that?
Yesterday through the punchback on the lower time frame. If you look down here, it punched out of this box, then went punched back through the second box. So it was one of those things where you got empty space up above you, you got to let it go.
You picked it up on the second punchback, right, Garrett?
Right after the first punchback, going into the second one, it had cleared this red candle right here. It wicked off of it and then pushed through that wick, so I grabbed it there for the gap fill. And yeah, so I really, again, one of the most, if not the most important factors is where I can set my stop loss. If I can set my stop loss on a good floor, then I can usually trust it, right? If you guys remember what I said about MU, remember that little box? Look at how hard it's been for this thing to break down underneath it. That's why I want my stop loss lined up with some type of red candle top or something like that. But
What strike did you get, Potty?
I had the 232s and 235s. So I am deep in the money right now.
I got 250s, and they're still up 250%.
Jesus.
Yeah, I was gonna say 250s are up 200 at least.
Wow.
Spy's rocking. Looks like it's.
But there's no way it's actually going to meet that target, right? So maybe it's time to think about trimming.
That's not
Well,
a...
You got earnings on Thursday, so I'd give it a day still.
Listen. What's to stop us? The only thing that I can see is on the 15-minute, right? And if it clears this, then the answer is yes, absolutely. Because when you're on a momentum tier like this, that 15-minute structure that you're seeing here and here, those are the two relevant, because again, we're ripping, and look where it tapped.
That's crazy. Microsoft had like an identical setup.
I hate stock so much. I know it does well for some people, but yeah. Better box though. Yeah, MU, that's a stop loss right there, has been hit. Snow's ripping it again, but too late for that one. Still watching Crocs. Wow. Did not know if Apple was going to do this, but I'm glad it did. On Zim, folks, I know it's disappointing. That sucks. We did, everything that we could do. But, and again, candle close outside of the box, empty space, you filled the empty space. That's where the deliberation begins. But what I am not upset about is the fact that it is falling quickly. And so either that means that there's a signal down, or we could be looking for a bounce and a reversal. There you go. CVX, I think somebody asked me about that one short yesterday. Keep your eyes peeled on that one with the wick out and drive back down.
Spy almost looks like it's going to rip right through its empty space from yesterday.
Right up against that channel top. Yeah, so do the Qs, but I'm curious on whether we got, really like to see a little more juice.
I got auto twos.
I do too. 49.26 there underneath you, and if this can close underneath 49.75, yeah, I guess I would be looking maybe to 48 and 47. even 47 even. Alex, that's fine. Yeah, I like that. Those are hilarious. Alex, I think the one on the far right. I don't know, post them all 4 of those in the chat and ask the chat. Yeah, I would say that Apple is doing an earnings move. Yeah. I mean, it could drive. I've trimmed twice on this thing, so. Ivy, I need you to hit up Marzel to get it, unless you already do. I need you to get into that Google Drive that he's sharing all those videos in. Because I want to get Alex logged into my YouTube so you can start posting those shorts. There's like 50 of them. Huh? Yeah, I would ask him where he's sending that. Yeah. Yeah, which one of those YouTube covers do you guys like the most? That Alex just posted in the chat. I like the first one too, that was cool.
PATH looks interesting, and it's about to fill the empty space, I believe. Contracts with P. In the teens, Potter. I know you mentioned that yesterday.
What were you saying? Sorry.
Path. PATH.
Okay. That's gone. It's at cost basis right now. On a 24-hour box.
What do you think of T-Mobile?
Hold on, man. Yeah.
4-hour. It looks like there's still empty space, but I could be off. You tell me.
I mean, I don't see empty space up in the immediate price action. I just see a box, but there is on the 24-hour. Yes, there's definitely empty space up there. Yeah, it looks great. Yeah.
I can't believe Apple.
Dude, beautiful, right? It's just tapping that cost basis right now too.
I have one contract left, and I'm about to.
Hey, hey, Potts. Will you take a look at HAS HAS for Hasbro?
Yeah, somebody. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. You can do mine after. My bad.
T-Mobile needs to break over 224.33, empty space up to the floor at 228.86, and you're doing a good job of that right now. What was the?
calls on puts for earnings on both sides.
Yeah.
They're like, you think it's gonna bounce like about how much? Like 5% up or down?
I mean, here's the thing. Well, I mean, to the downside, right? Like, if you have an even straddle, right now, I think it goes up. Like, when I look at the chart, it looks like it, but all I see is 228.84. That's the first and most logical target up above us with empty space. Cost basis breaks on earnings. You know, then in the following days, you could see 241. The one thing that is, well, let's see. Look at the 24-hour again. So earnings is never a huge move on its own. Here you had a decent move. So, I mean, you need to replicate like that kind of movement. But yeah, it says 230. So, I mean, yeah.
250s like expiring like in Feb.
You might be able to get away with that if you can just simply reclaim the floor at 229, punch through that box, and then you have empty space 240. So it's possible, especially with that momentum. So.
And we're about CZR.
Say that again?
CZR.
Sorry, I'm managing my positions right now. Does it have empty space? No. That's not here. But you do have two stacked boxes. You're trying to go and reclaim that box. And I would assume on the 4-hour, it looks a little different. No, not much. So it's $36 that needs to be reclaimed. But what I see up above me is more candle closes at $36.50. So I personally would be looking at a $36.50 reclaim. And then, I mean, here's the thing. If you can punch through the 50% mark, you're promised a new high. And so 40 would be the target after that. And then if that last cost basis breaks, you're looking at a retest of this big box here at 43. But that's all trigger based. You know, we have to have the floor reclaimed and then the punchback.
3650 called to this week.
I mean, that's the target for sure.
Yeah. All right, thank you. That's all.
Yep.
Now that you have a sec, it was HAS. It had, I know you had spoken about it before. It had like some empty space, and it looks like it's kind of popping.
Mm-hmm.
It has earnings, I think, like 220.
Yeah, candle closed up against the wall yesterday. Gap up. And so while this is a slow mover, which typically means you're just going to react to resistances as they come, I see an imbalance target here at 59.79. So that's target 1, and then target 2 ultimately would be the floor at 60.65 or 60.50. From there, you have a lot of empty space, but those are the two most immediate things that need to be done. And then from there, you would have, you know, a move up to 63 and potentially 64, 66. Second target coming here on Apple. This is ridiculous.
I want to get into that so bad.
Yo, yesterday at the close, that's fucking...
I can't believe I fucking missed it, dude. I don't know when you said to take it. I can't believe I missed that one, dude. I've been waiting for an Apple trade too.
So this one yesterday, I pointed it out while it was going through the first punchback, and then I missed my cost basis entry, so I waited for the top to break. But I did say, this is where, like, on the weekends, y'all, or even after hours, this is where going over the YouTube video, like watching for the ones that, like, you know, we're like, okay, that looks good. Those are the ones, or that's where I think the YouTube videos are the most useful, because you can really deep dive and like take notes on these setups and like where's your entry, where's your exit. And that one was set up, you know, when you look at Apple, you have a nice box here. You dipped into your lows. I mean, truthfully, it's almost like its own whole big box here, but I had it right here. So once you recovered that floor, and you can see it hesitates to do that, but once it pushes off that floor, there's nothing but gas. And so sitting above it was one last box with a gap, which is where we actually tried to play it in the first place, off of the first bounce, but it didn't end up going all the way. So I knew that if we could punch through that, there was nothing but empty space, and with the momentum that we had coming from yesterday, we could see another big day. So, but yeah, this is there's a lot of setups like this that have triggers above and below that have empty space, but we're just waiting. They haven't triggered yet. So
Yeah, I know we had I had talked to you about Apple like just randomly, and we were talking about that. And I think as I was talking to you about it, dude, I missed the information about fucking, you know, what you were looking for.
yeah, Apple, and that one moved so fast it was hard to react, unless you got it at the end of the day.
Well, I know someone else in here had taken it from that first, like that first little gap at the bottom.
Yeah.
Like, you know, talking about it, and we were kind of watching it and mentioned it, and but I'm, you know, I'm happy you guys made up.
There will be another one.
They took it down there at that bottom. I was like, this is it. I'm like, I'm in. It's crossing my level at cost basis.
Damn.
Cade, you in here?
Yeah, what's up? At the Napa.
Can you believe those Apple 250s?
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. And I was sitting there thinking, there ain't no way in hell we get close.
Yeah, now we actually might have a chance at it.
Yeah, I'm done trimming, so I'm leaving 2 just for earnings.
Yeah, I got 2 runners. That's it. I trimmed all the rest off.
I remember I was fucking with you guys yesterday about that shit. I'm like, 250 for this week? Now I feel like a dumbass.
Cade probably got better fill. I got him at 50 cents.
I got them at 37 cents.
What are they worth now?
$1.
What's up, dude?
I hit $1.70 earlier.
All right. So, by the end of the week, oh wait. So if you are somebody who donated to the Ivy Fund, the last time we did that, little tip jar for Ivy, I'm going to be sending you guys a package. We just got the product in, or it's coming in today, so we're gonna get to work on it tomorrow, and going into the end of the week. So Ivy, if I think you already did, but I need names and addresses, so that way I can go ahead and get that sent out. Okay. Perfect.
Gary, where do you want us to send it? Our addresses if we didn't send it.
You could send it to Ivy. Is that cool, Ivy? Okay. Yeah, so just send it.
Just send me a DM, guys, of your name and shipping it.
Yeah, I like that Chinese. Put Bing Chilling on the front of it. That's yeah, I like that a lot. What does that mean? Does anybody know what that means? No? Okay.
Google said it means ice cream. What the heck?
Really?
Google Translate will tell you.
It's been chilling.
I got your chili right here, puppy.
Oh, calm down there, buddy.
Real quick, out of seriousness, I want to ask you on slow time. So I know like the boxes, channels, etc. I know you don't. I know you don't talk about this a lot, but do you like to look into like not the candle opens and candle closes, but understanding when you see like a big candle, rip or like a small candle getting smaller because sellers and buyers are taking control? Like, do you like to improvise that into the system or as a tool?
You're saying like engulfing candles?
Yeah, like engulfing candles or like a hammer candle. Like just understanding what's going on deeper than just the boxes and channels.
To me, it's just about leverage and where price is accepted and where it's not. So, I mean, do I look at, like when I said Amazon this morning, right? Like, am I looking at that? It's not the name of the candle or the definition behind that candle. It's what is it doing to those who are leveraged here, right? Amazon whips down after yesterday, right? After that huge dump. Sellers step up. They're a part of this. They get destroyed. Their last line of defense is the candle closes here. So this morning, when you're sitting there kind of staggering, right? I can tell that if that breaks off the top, it's gonna fucking rip. Right? Like that's just how I look at it. Try not to overcomplicate the system at all, because when you have price behavior like that, and you can, like, I don't know what the name of that would be, and obviously it could be bullish or bearish. The doji, it doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is, I mean, an engulfment shows that, yeah, price is being engulfed. But if that engulfment doesn't result in something being grabbed or pushed over, which usually it does, I would say that most of the time when you engulf a whole range, you're pushing over something. So, I mean, like, sure, you could take stock in it, pun intended, but what is always most important is where price is accepted. Because if buyers accept floors, we go up. If buyers accept cost basis, we go up. Same thing with sellers, down. So.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just helps me to see more like a bounce on the lower time frames, but I do understand I might be getting a little bit ahead of myself, or
I mean, I'm not saying that like there's not use cases from it for it. Um, but I guess yeah. At the end of the day, it's all about what has been reclaimed, what has been closed over, and then if that translates down to the lower time frame, then that's perfect. But um, I think if you're, I mean, like we could look at the queues, right? Like that almost nearly engulfs. But what's most important to me on the queues is that it closed on the floor. That's the most important thing here, right? Not that it didn't actually fully engulf the candle. It only went up to basically cost basis here and stopped. But I don't know if anybody got that.
like for me.
If it works, dude, don't fix it if it's not broken. But
No, yeah, I just want to bring it up to your attention, and to me, I'm just trying to understand more, like doing the story. Like I know that's something more deeper or more difficult with when you become, better at trading, but I'm getting better at understanding the story too as well.
yeah, and I think that's the most important. How you narrate that story could be different, but as long as you understand what's happening, right, in context with the strategy, then I'm not going to tell you not to do it. If it's something completely different or you're adding something that ultimately really doesn't matter, then that's something that where I'd just rather focus on price. But how you interpret that, man, that's as long as it makes sense to you and you're understanding the story. Because I mean that's what I'm doing. So if you can still see the same thing, then you're good. Because you're not too far off. If that, I mean, an engulfment's engulfment. So, but anyway.
Okay, great. Yeah, because I mean, I've been kind of playing it, like okay, and I kind of do my little stories, and I've been posting my charts and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been somewhat close. I mean, obviously you can't tell the future, but I've just been getting better to pushing it to the next level of understanding the charts, etc.
That's amazing, dude. Yeah, keep going.
Thank you, sir.
Constantly rubbing me. Whoa.
Spot needs to break this right here. Same with the queues.
Got Nike punching back on the 4 hour, sitting on cost basis right now.
I have Nike still. Since we took it. You want some good meat? Do exactly that 520 and going sideways now with empty space underneath it to build. So Representative Ko Hana said, "We must ban PAC and lobbyist spending and overturn Citizen United to break the unholy an alliance between wealth and power in Washington. That politically got me bricked up. That right there would fucking do a lot. If you stop lobbyist money, oh my God. People like Marjorie Taylor Greene would be inside of a fucking Subway making sandwiches.
Yeah, they need to get rid of that shit. I think it was what, the Bush administration that put that shit out. They gotta get rid of that shit.
Dude,
I
it's
was
so
reading about
nasty.
Marjorie Taylor. She just bought a bunch of Bitcoin and Amazon and Tesla. Like,
Yeah, I saw her. Yeah, she does not have the best track record in the stock market, though. I follow her. I'm friends with the guy who started Quiver Quantitative. He has my number, but I remember when he put her on there for the first time, and I was like, oh, I wonder how this is gonna go. And she did fucking terrible. It was pretty funny. Definitely doesn't have the same political influence as Pelosi does, right?
You the one who said that Bezos wants to buy the post office, or did I hear that somewhere else?
I didn't say that. Yeah, I don't think I said that.
I thought I heard it in.
You might have heard. You probably did hear. I mean, with all the people in here listening to all the different resources out there, sure. Yeah, it's probably.
Always too complex for Marjorie Taylor Greene.
When you want spinach or lettuce, it's the same thing. Listen. This is not okay for me to be like this way, but there are punchable faces, and if I was a girl, there's something about that lady that irritates me deeply. Backstory on her is something that will irritate you. I mean, she was a Pilates instructor. Her dad has connections or some shit like that. And I mean, she rose to political power, if you want to even call that, through some crazy Sarah Palin type fucking, campaign. So it's painful, dude. But when people like that come into the political office and they're just causing problems and then immediately taking advantage of these tech companies and all this stuff that they apparently are against, it's like, I know why you're here. Like, would you, like, I guess some people are faced with the opportunity of just becoming a politician in order to gain wealth. I mean, and it's like, yeah, maybe they just fucking, get lost in the sauce and forget what it's like to be a person. But, our government could be run by computers more effectively, I think, right now. The fear would be computers take over and start implementing laws and governing us. But, like, at the end of the day, like, I would trust AI to track America's finances and audits and all that other shit, and not necessarily make laws, but to almost like sit as like an advisor. Like, okay, nope, this person's saying shit that's not fucking correct. We've sourced it here, and here. Here's the proof. And so then whatever they would say would just be simply invalidated. But there's so much fear mongering and all this other fucking show shit that just, and it's all just a distraction. As long as we keep fighting and arguing about which politician's going to make us all fucking set us free in the land of the free. It's like, I mean what I say. I really wish that people...
Too much sense, bro.
Sorry. I really wish that we really did look at politicians like fucking employees. You don't get a fancy campaign. You don't get cheers. You tell us... Oh, yeah. I'm ready. But at the end of the day, if you worship somebody, right? You know what they say, never meet your heroes. There is shit that even the deepest Trump fan would probably not like about him. There should be no, like, that's where you put a blindfold on. Because when you're like, you have to back up that person's behavior. And when you have political, you say, I am this, or this is my guy. Then when he does make shitty decisions, you kind of like, your ego wants to back him up. Real quick, watch for the cues to fall underneath the box that they popped up from. Right here. See how you're building underneath that? So you'll come back down to 516.
I don't like anybody.
I don't either.
Should we buy puts?
No. I'm not. I don't bother with lower time frame shit like this, man. It's not worth my time. Or this is where everybody else loses, is in these tiny little pockets. I like to take trades where I know it's going to continue moving in that direction. But anyway, I just refuse. Like I might like some of the political views, but at the end of the day, I just want you to do your job. Do your fucking job. Stop trying to make me be afraid of gay people and do your fucking job. So, you know, I don't know if you guys have ever met a gay person. Not that scary. Pretty normal. Almost as if they're human beings.
They're almost funny.
Almost
Fun
funny.
fact: Boozy's manager is gay, and he had said some shit like, "I trust gay people more than anybody else," and like, never, bro. You would never think Boozy at all people. There was like some homophobic thing of him. Like, how the fuck? He was like, my manager is gay. He's like, I trust them more than anybody in the world. Like, holy shit! Listen to Boozy.
Lil Boosie's crazy, bro. He said some wild shit, man.
You ever seen the videos of they're like Boosie asking for things? He's like, I need 3 jet skis and a boat right now.
Yeah.
Crazy as shit. That shit's hilarious.
Yeah, I listened to a lot of Boosie when I first moved to Savannah.
Fuck, I can imagine, dude. Back in the day,
they bumped that shit down here, bro. Boosie, that's what you ride around to, bro. Boosie was like, yeah. I like Boosie, dude. His shit was.
He's fucking funny, bro.
He's funny. Yeah, he's funny.
To this day.
To this day. I don't really like Soldier Boy, but I do think his shit's like when he crashes out, that shit is hilarious.
He said Drake.
Drake?
Yo, that shit is fucking hilarious.
What if we don't pay our taxes anymore? Listen. Here's the thing. There needs to be and again, I'm just a guy, who cares? But there needs to be a great unifier. If somebody could piece together the words powerfully enough so that people wouldn't scroll away, and we all as one can agree that we have issues with each other. We don't always agree, and that's okay. We can figure that shit out. But we're never going to figure it out if we are underneath these politicians. If we are, because at the end of the day, we have forgotten, and it's slowly going away, that these people work for us, and they're supposed to represent us. Like our say, but we don't have town hall meetings. We don't have anything there's no unification. Nobody even goes outside, hardly anymore. After fucking COVID, whether it was an experiment or not, it worked. It fucking worked, dude. It sent us all into our houses, and kids don't play outside. Exactly. I just got so comfortable being in my house. When I left my house and saw people again, I was like, ugh, like, oh God, fuck. How do we talk to these things? I just, it was, I mean, I'm good, I'm good now, but just everything has changed so much.
Apple hit a target.
Yeah, it's still just there.
That 239.45 target hit.
I need to get on one of these famous people's streams on the fucking Kickstream. I've seen a lot of dudes trying to they bring day traders on and shit. I was like,
teach Aiden how to trade.
Listen, you know how crazy it would be though, because they'll drop 50 bands. If you put 50 bands on one of these trades that hits, ugh.
Holy shit, yeah, Spy and Q's are dumping.
Mm-hmm. Everything that we said could happen today has happened. Bounced off the cost basis underneath us, punched back through, Went and hit that new high, that 520, 519.62. Stalemate. But we want this. I don't want it to go. I'm sorry if you do, but I don't. I adamantly want it to stay in this range.
Need to build a box for tomorrow.
Something I can, yeah. Something I can trade or even look into a straddle. Yeah, Apple made my whole day. Everything else was MU was okay. It was a good trade.
I only grabbed 10 of those Apple calls, the 245s.
Uh-huh.
And my dumbass sold them, not even realizing that I sold them.
Oh,
Automatically sold them.
oh, and you're just sitting there like, oh yeah. Oh, that's the worst feeling.
I have them, and then I was like, what the fuck? I thought I had Apple. I realized I sold them.
You know, I'm trying to remember if it was Zoom or if it was one of those EVs. I think it might have been Neo. The day it was closing up against cost basis, it had a really good day. I took it outside of a box, and I had grabbed 150 contracts, which was a pretty big position. Grabbed 150 contracts, and at the end of the day, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead, because these are still well priced, I'm going to go ahead and buy 50 more. The risk to reward here, I was still within my risk. And instead of buying 50, I sold all of it, thinking I had bought it all. Didn't, and I was, this is one of those days where at the end of the day, my eyes were drooping. Next morning, dude, I'm like, yeah. Right before the bell, I open my brokerage. I'm like, yeah, what the fuck? Like, no. I didn't want to trade that day, bro.
Yep, I did that shit too. I did that with the AMD last year.
Oh, fuck. That was when it was moving.
It was terrible. Yeah, it was on a Friday. It was 0 DTEs. Those things fucking pumped. And I accidentally sold. I still made 200%. But I could have made 1,000.
Sheesh.
Yeah. So sad.
I think yesterday I saw I don't know why it just reminded me of that. Right now, TJR and all these guys are doing something called Trade Wars. Have you guys seen that? They're like all trading with each other, like against each other. Listen, I'm genuinely not trying to hate. But like one of the guys that they regard as like their top, like he's one of those guys. Only had to make $186 to beat the guy in front of him. And instead, they all start with $1,000. But instead, ended the day with $84 left in his account. And I'm like, okay, bro, that's a red fucking flag right there. Like, that's what? Like $84? But it did kind of make me think. I was like, bro, you know what? If they did, not them, but if somebody else held like a trading, I know there was trading competitions, but it's like paper trading and shit. But I legitimately want to competitively trade at least once in my life. I mean, there's like the world trading competitions and shit like that. But I
thought about that too.
Yeah,
I'm just not as good as you are yet.
I mean, it's one of those things where I would definitely have to, if they made it so I had to scalp, I would definitely be a little bit less excited about it, but I still would do it because at the end of the day, I can still hit scalps.
Yeah, I can hit scalps. Scalps I can hit. That's my backstory.
Yeah.
Is I know how to scalp. I know how to day trade. Swing trading, it's not harder. It's a discipline. It's a discipline for
If it was a week long, however you make it, Like, and I could swing trade. Oh, I would swing trade into some of these day trades.
Well, that's my mindset usually when I go into my trades. Is I look at it as a swing trade, even though it could only be possibly a day trade. And then I start getting caught up in my day trades too much.
Yeah, that's the one thing. It's funny you say that because I get sucked into them as well. I actually, that's something that I just notice about. I mean, I don't know if it's something I necessarily have to like try to improve on. I think it's just a thing that like I get sucked into those lower time frames, and I have to remind myself to back out because I don't make money unless it's rooted in the higher time frames. So, last night, do you guys know who the Stock Father is? He's like this old guy. He like talks about stocks all the time. I'm sure you guys saw him. He had a lot of followers in the.
Monty.
I don't know what his real name is to be honest. He's a New Yorker. You can tell.
Yeah, you got that gray curly hair.
Yeah, he might be joining our Discord.
No way, that guy's fucking awesome.
I told him the other day. I said, do you think it's possible to hit over 1,000% trades consistently, or to hit them like on some consistent basis? And he said, if I could do that, I wouldn't do anything else. And so I was like, well, hit me up. I was like, I'll show you. I saw him. He went and looked at some of my videos. So I think he's intrigued. It'd be kind of cool to have somebody like that. Apple new highs again. Or at least up against the highs again.
He's like an old dog, long school. Old, like, hold forever. Fucking don't sell, you bitches.
Oh yeah, and I told him I just gave him a brief rundown. I was like, I was like, everything I do is overnight. I was like, I typically grab shorter expiration. I keep it low risk. And he's like, I'll DM you. And then I comment on one of his videos because I was like, oh, I'm banned from DMing. You can't DM me, so you have to join my Discord. I am banned though. I can't DM people. Some dude DM'd me, and I forgot what I said back to him. He was hating on me, and I think I said something like, "Go ride Trade Phantom Sweeter again" or something like that, and I got banned. I gotta chill out.
I was watching American Dream Trading's stupid shit on TikTok the other day. Like, do they literally trade on the 1 minute?
There is,
what the fuck?
There is. And like, you know what, I'm competitive, like, so like a lot of the times where I'm creating competition, you know what I mean, like that's just who I am. I'm just competitive. If I'm trying to do something, I'm trying to do it the best way possible. Like I want to be not regarded. I don't want to like be on a throne, but I want to be the best. I'm Ash Ketchum, I want to be really good at what I do. But I also, in knowing what I know is like kind of a burden, because it's like, yeah, I think that most people should start this way. If you started like, and I'm saying this as an educator who's been teaching people who are just starting out, and it's those people who pick up fastest. Now, something that new people always go through, and I learned this year, is they'll go hard for a year, and then they'll take a long ass break, and when they come back, they're like ready. It's weird, but like sometimes it's short, but like typically it's like they absorb all the knowledge, and then they get not overwhelmed, but like there's just a lot. They've just put themselves through a lot, and so they'll go and like take an extended break. I literally found you after I found ADT. I do better for sure on larger time frames. Didn't have any luck with ADT on the 1 minute. It's just marketing, man. It's every human struggles with instant gratification, and it's those people who understand that that's how marketing in the stock market has been going for nearly a decade. For a decade, people have been promising, get this type of percent. I mean, one of the first dudes who ever really, I was like, there's no way people are charging that much. He charged 40,000 a quarter. a quarter, $40,000 a quarter to join his group. And it was like, well, all share buying. And some of these people were like spending, you know, like half their life savings. And like, to me, bro, like, I don't want people to put themselves in debt to fucking join my group. Like, yeah, that's dark. To me, that's dark. Like, you're preying on people's like instant gratification and then telling them that they can make it if they just buy your shit. It's like, I'd rather tell somebody like, here's my strategy. If you don't want to buy my shit and you just want to learn on your own, go to my YouTube. If you do and you want to be a part of the group, and usually everybody has the opportunity to listen to us, which could be terrifying for some people, but or just too much. I have this guy on TikTok, he tells me all the time to stop cussing. I don't know what to say to that, but yeah, I mean, the 1 minute, it just makes sense. If, like, this is just my logical step down. And if I was to have one day when I have a podcast, you know, I'll talk about this a lot. If and this is not a argued point, right? If you go to most of these stock traders and you're like, hey, is the market a fractal of itself? Most, if not all of them, will say, yeah. Okay, well then you just shit on everything that you're teaching. Because if you know that the 1 minute will give you a 1 minute return, so 1 minute punch back, you're looking at the next box in front of you, just like you would on any other time frame. So you go to the 5 minute, now you have a 5 minute return, 5 minute empty space, 5 minute box. Okay, if that's cool with you, if you're cool with knowing that the higher time frame moves slower, but in the same way that the lower time frames do, you're agreeing to not taking advantage of all of that. And not to say that you can't take advantage of lower time frames and use them, but
you can use the 1 minute though and box them out and literally see how your system works perfectly. Because I had a trade on Tesla last week that went 200%. Using the 1 minute and 5 minute boxes only.
Well, if you're running, especially when you're in empty space, I will, like for Apple, I'm on the 5 right now. The reason that I'm on the 5, to your point, is because I can do this. Box.
Watch the structure being built.
Exactly. I can watch structure being built. And so I know that because we're near or at our target on Apple, there's a good chance of a rejection, right? And so how would you fall? Because a rejection is not a rejection unless it takes out something that's holding it up. And so with Apple, I can say under 238 or 239, there's a good chance that we're going to move under 238.20 and move down to the first little red candle here. And that's not a box, so it's probably just going to flush straight through. But you have a pullback all the way to 235. It's almost a $5 move. So yeah, I need to be prepared for that. But it is fun oftentimes for us.
Look at Coin Story too.
Toy Story?
Talk in between. Coin.
Oh, Coin. I thought you said Toy Story. Yeah, this is actually the same thing. It's in the same spot as it was the last time I gave well, I guess you've fallen. So this thing's come down, bounced off cost basis, and been unable to break back up above the previous resistance as of right now, right? And that's basically what you're dealing with, is you need to be back up above 290.90 or 291 to fill that gap and to punch through this lower time frame box, which has that gap fill as cost basis. Now, upon that punch back, you have a big, so there's no empty space here, right? Above that, you would then be trying to trigger a 24-hour box for a punch back into new highs. Or if you're looking down, you're looking at a loss of that wick. I mean, and that's going to be lower time frame analysis that's going to help you get there. So there's your short level right there at 276.60. There's your empty space underneath. So you could look at this both ways.
So tomorrow is a big.
Tomorrow is a what? I'm trimming Apple.
My bad.
Okay. Damn, did you see 240 right there? Immediate rejection.
if it depending on where it closes, are you gonna stay in or take more in Apple?
I think we have only 242 above me, and I would much rather I'm not going to trade an ad into where we're moving into structure. I'll let runners run there, but there is more empty space up above it, so it would be a punchback over that median right there at 243.85.
And it has earnings, right?
Yeah, that's one of the things where it does have earnings this week. So this is also setting up. Listen, you could completely reverse off of that red candle or the box above and come right back down because we're ripping into earnings, which Apple isn't a huge mover on earnings all the time. So. All right, guys, it is 11:40. Target just hit Apple just hit the target. The Qs and SPY are both kind of doing exactly what we talked about. No, I'm not going to short this down. I do not care about the lower time frame setups right now. I am interested only in making redonkulous fucking gains tomorrow based off of the setup that's building today. And this is what I want to see. If it does climb into new highs, so be it. Maybe you can use this box that you built above you to position yourself into tomorrow. So, but I'm going to go ahead and call it. I'm done. And I think the market is just kind of grinding within this range, which this is going to suck a lot of people into trade. There's still a ton of people trading right now. So lower time frame setups, the only way we're getting out of this is breaking down below 515, but even then, you still have so many more triggers underneath you until we get a bigger move, which, would be trying to aim for that floor. So,
yeah, I just posted that 1 minute trade that I took on Tesla last week in the poster chart.
Oh, beautiful.
They even broke it down like exact everything, entry.
Yeah.
Fees.
I like that.
I do the same thing on SPX when I take those trades at the end of the day.
Yeah. Well, I think the cool thing is typically if you see something on the 1 minute setting up, then you can go out to the higher time frame and see the whole potential of that move. So that's the cool thing about moving in between those time frames. But
it was crazy. So right when I got rid of my last runner there, it just dumped like within 5 minutes.
Talking about Apple or?
No, Tesla.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, isn't that beautiful? That's my favorite thing about this is I don't struggle like with Apple. I'm mostly out now. It hit 240. That was the target. Like I don't. That's something where like I'm not. I don't get I try to staying on these higher time frames helps me to stay away from the lower ones because I'm like, yeah, that's playing that 24-hour time frame was way more worth it than trading this 15-minute tiny ass little box down there. But if this tiny ass little box showed me a signal that I'm looking for on the 24-hour, okay, now we can talk. So, but anyway, I will see you guys at 3:00. Hopefully you guys stay away from this lower time frame stuff, but obviously, mostly you new people. Huh?
On Apple? Are we buying puts on Apple?
I don't know about me, but I'm not. Yeah.
For signals.
Yeah. No, I don't think I'm gonna buy. When something is going up, I do not take it down unless it gives me a reason to. So hitting a target isn't a reason for me to go short. And in fact, we're just running up to the top of this candle, and we've just hit it at 240. So now we are observing price action, which we can do on the 1 minute. So if you decide that you want to take Apple short, it has to be rooted in something like that. So if you want to go short, I would use that. But if not, you could simply bounce at cost basis. You could bounce where you're at right now. So I'm not automatic. If I'm not one to take something short when it's going up, unless I get or have a good reason to. So. And I'm done. I'm done until the end of the day because again, my focus is on tomorrow, not today. So, Luckily, Apple just blessed me with finally.
Can't be unburdened by what has been burdened.
Your bird. All right, guys. Have a good afternoon. I'll see you in a little bit.